him sitting still and sitting on the ground. Yes, we got this blanket, but you're still losing heat too. What are we losing heat by? Surface to surface?
Conduction.
Conduction, right. Very good. All right.
Now when you are considering splitting, if it's going to be hot later and he might want to take his jacket off, then you may want to apply the splint underneath the jacket, which means we're going to have to remove the jacket before applying the splint. So,
but that's why you have these tarps, and then they can just drape that back over me and work underneath that tarp.
So I'm going to support your hand here, and Ron's going to work to get that coat off on that side. A lot of times the best splint's a patient self-splint.
They'll guard themselves.
They'll guard themselves. They don't want it to hurt. There we go. Now I can slide my hand right there, and I can come right in behind. Okay, now that I've got this open, I can see. Now, if I had an injury right here, that would probably be one of the first things I'd do. If you want to have him stand up, we'll walk over here to where you're not sitting in the smoke. But since we're here, we'll go ahead and stay. All right, so looking at a splint, material that we have here.
now, you know, if you need the bottom 8 inches of his pant sleeve, use it.
Yep.
If he's got a spare set of socks in his jacket, use those. When you're going to put the splint on, I wouldn't care so much in the field about taping directly over his hair, but we're going to try and be nice to him out here.
What you want to allow for is a little bit of swelling, because it can happen.
You don't have that in his pack.
What's that? Well, I'm going to, instead of cutting your pants leg off, I'll just use this as your pants leg, or a shirt that you have. You carry an extra pair of clothes.
Well, we can use his green handkerchief to wrap the arm before we...
Right there underneath your bag, Bob. No, you got it right there in front of you. There you go.
See it? Everything's kind of blends.
Okay. Actually, what I'd use this for a sling. So we'll use his shirt.
Well, that's not
we'll
big
just
enough
tape.
for a sling, is it?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Is it? Because that's what...
Maybe not.
Well, you got a bag there? We'll use that one.
That's what I had intended.
So what we can do is wrap this around his arm.
Take a stick.
Stick it here. Why don't you hold that up? I'm gonna tell you what, since it's your wrist.
Mid-shaft.
Just can't see.
Got a little smoky over there, didn't it?
It's real smoky over here.
Wind would change direction here like it did all night last night.
As soon as
Blowing
it's
over this
done.
way.
And then what I'm looking for is a position of function for his wrist, which would be like reaching for a doorknob. Okay, so that way it's comfortable. If I can pad a little bit in the palm, that'll go a long way for comfort for him. So it's got that nice little stick. How's that feel, Shannon?
Good.
Okay, and I can wrap this up around. I feel like that's supporting it good?
Yep.
Okay, and then Ron can come around with some duct tape and we'll...
You see how he has it's above and below the joints. So I have 2 joints here. One is the wrist and one is the elbow. And this stick basically immobilizes both joints. So it keeps me from moving those tendons and muscles that'll move that bone back and forth.
Now you need to pay attention to how tight you make that duct tape around his arm so you don't cut off his circulation.
You're going to want to monitor for swelling pretty frequently.
And in anything you do splint-wise, you always check for circulation before and after.
Okay.
So
you're
after
not-
we get done, yes, sir.
Oh, you're not going to want to compromise a loose splint, or you're not going to want to give up making a loose splint for
so I
the
can reach in
circulation.
there.
If it swells up and cuts it off, then make it a little bigger. But
And I've got
Don't
good
start out with a
circulation. I
loose
can
one.
check that with
Okay.
the radial pulse. What's the other way I can look to see if he's got? Okay. Decap BPLS or capillary refill. Pinch a fingernail. If you pinch a fingernail bed of yours, you can see that it's normally kind of red, and then when you pinch it and you let it go, absolutely awesome. Okay, Shannon, how's that feel? Can you still wiggle your fingers?
Yep.
Good. Okay, so then we can take this and we can make a cravat out of it, or a sling out of it.
Did you go over bilateral pulses? Just to, well, I mean, check one against the other.
Check one against the other.
And then if this one is slightly diminished, you know that there may be some kind of a compromise on circulation. But if they're equal and feel the same, then chances are you've got really good circulation.
Okay, so we've got some more stuff in
Oh.
here.
Yeah, it's got me all teary-eyed.
Yeah, I'm trying to take care of that for you. But keep it
Come on, boys, you're firefighters.
I know I breathed enough smoke.
And again, he's not fixing my arm. All he's doing is keeping me from injuring it more.
Okay, now for a sling, Ron will show you how you do a sling. You fold it in a triangle.
Triangle. But you always want to tie a little knot in the corner of your triangle, just to give the elbow a place to hang out. Now we're going to come around here. Oh, hold on. I went the wrong way with it. There it is. Try and raise that as high as it'll permit, because it's going to settle a little bit.
Blood flow. Keep the swelling down.
Okay, so try to get the injury at the level of the heart or above.
Now that'll help him out. You might need help walking.
Now he can walk himself out.
Okay, now that we got everything done, what's something that we're going to do real quick?
Reassess.
Reassess. Okay, so we're going to reach in here. We're going to check for a pulse. Pre and post. Okay, now can he walk? Nothing says that he can't, so that's what we're going to do. Our main goal is just to stabilize him so that we can move out. Looking at the weather, what time is it right now? It's 10 o'clock. I would probably make the effort to go ahead and start moving him out versus staying and playing.
Now, the other case scenario on this would be that if I didn't have circulation, you need to make a chance, at least a couple efforts to try to get circulation back in that arm, because you're not a half an hour away. Your day's out. Within a day, you could lose that limb. You have to make the effort. On the small bones, you don't really have to use traction as much. You're going to put your hand. You want to show them how to do that? You put your hand over the injury and start moving it until you can feel that pulse. You leave your hand on that pulse point and you move it until you can try and at least get some sort of circulation back. Any circulation is better than no circulation.
Yeah.
But you got to make the effort, or just putting everything else on them is really not doing anything.
And what they're teaching now, if there's a little bit of the bone sticking out, it's still better if you can wash it off with some water and try to clean it the best you can, and go ahead and pull traction, which will pull that bone back in and wrap. They used to teach it where you just leave it out, but now they're wanting to pull it in. They can always hit it with antibiotics, and he's going to have to go to surgery with an open fracture anyway. So whenever they go in there, they can clean all that out.
They teach now to even put, if you have an impalement or if you have an organ and evisceration, is even go ahead and put it back in them, because infection is the least of their worries at that point.